Welcome back. I'm Charean Williams. This is Drew Davison, Cowboys beat writers. And Drew, let's talk about last week's game a little bit before we move ahead to this week's game. But Brandon Weeden last week, he did complete 22 of 26 passes, but we know that most of those passes, all but 5, didn't travel more than 9 yards down the field. Everything was underneath. You expect him to throw more down the field, considering where the Saints rank defensively, 22nd against the pass?
Yeah, I definitely do, and that's been a point of emphasis all week. I mean, Weeden came out yesterday, said, I think, he said I can throw down the field, and he tried the second play of the game to go deep to Terrence Williams, and that was really about it. He tried, Jason went down the seam route, but I definitely think you'll see more balls towards Terrence Williams, especially how this whole week has played out. And it'll be interesting, though. I mean, if the Saints bring a lot of blitzes, you might have to dump it off to Lance Dunbars and just go with the more underneath routes again.
We know Tony Romo's going to be out until at least the end of November against the Miami Dolphins. That's when he's eligible to return. So until this is the Brandon Weeden show, at least for the next 2 weeks. I think he's got 2 weeks. He really needs to win this week. I think if they lose this week, Patriots next week, probably not winning that game. And then you got the bye week. I think he'll be in a little bit of trouble, and I think we might see Matt Castle who will be up to speed on this offense. Your thoughts on Matt Castle and Brandon Weeden's kind of tenuous reign on this job right now?
Yeah, I mean, there's no great option at quarterback right now. Without Tony Romo, there's just not that many quarterbacks out. This is a quarterback-starved league, so you can't just go out and add this great player. And I mean, Matt Castle has a little bit of a track record. He is hit and miss as a starter, but he is a proven veteran, so he could help kind of stabilize the ship should they lose this week in New Orleans and then next week to New England.
We haven't even talked about the defense. The defense has got to be better than they were last week. They were a huge disappointment. I know they were missing their 3 right defensive ends. Rolando McClain's coming back next week. Greg Hardy, we know all the people they're getting back, but they've got to play better this week if this team wants to beat New Orleans as bad as New Orleans is.
Yeah, I mean, some crazy people even thought the Cowboys defense were flirting with greatness after 2 weeks. But, no, I mean, there's no question. Matt Ryan didn't have a hand on him for his last 36 passes. I mean, Sean Lee got the sack on the first series, and that was really about it. He had all day to sit back, find Julio Jones, and no pressure. The secondary can't hang with the Julio Jones. So, I mean, they definitely have to improve up front, and also the running game. You can't let a backup running back gash you for 140 yards.
Help is on the way, but until then, the Cowboys have got to stay afloat, keep this thing rolling until they can get these starters back. For Drew Davison, I'm Charean Williams. We'll see you after the game on Sunday.